Hi, I'm Lisa, a practicing liminal witch and tarot reader with over 28 years experience in helping people find guidance through the cards. On this channel I talk about all sorts of witchy, spooky and mystical things that interest me and I hope will interest you too. Welcome to Beyond Authentic.
YouTube tarot reader Lisa Lee has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beyond Authentic. My name is Lisa, as the little introductory thing said, and today we are going to be doing some tarot reading. Surprise! Because it is a Sunday and that's what we do on Sunday evenings. So, good evening. I do hope everybody is well. I know the notifications are going off on the YouTubes now. So hopefully we'll have a few people to join us as we go along this evening. But we are going to do some tarot readings. Now, if you are new here, you may not know how we do the readings on this channel. So it's dead simple. There are two ways currently to get a reading on this channel, okay? The first way is wait until we open up a free round. When we open a free round, that is your chance to get your name into the hat for a free reading, right? And how you do that is dead simple. You pop the word question and then your question up on the, or down into the comment section, I should say. And then automatically that name gets put into the hat. And then the keeper of the questions, one of our lovely moderators, will give me whoever it is that is selected at random. And the moderators have their own selection system. So it's completely beyond me. It's completely separate. I don't get to pick. So the reason we do it that way is because that way I can't be biased, basically. I can't say, oh, hello, Bob, I haven't seen you for a long time. Here, have a reading. Do you know what I mean? There's no way that I am I'm not in charge of that, basically. So whoever gets a reading gets a reading. The second way of getting yourself a reading on this channel is to send it through as a super chat. That way you get the next available slot. So it's basically a queue jump. So that super chat can be any amount, okay? Any amount at all gets you the next reading slot. If, however, you want to get yourself a longer reading, then do send it either $8 or above currently, or £6 or above, whatever your currency is. And then that will get yourself a 6 or 7 card reading, a longer reading in a bit more detail. Now, for most of the readings, most of the readings are between 10 minutes, around 10 minutes sort of time. I'm hoping to stick to now. So there, hopefully it means we should get through quite a few readings during each session. Now we are due tonight to go through till about 8:30, possibly 9 p.m. I'm keeping an eye on that just because I am watching my spoons. If you don't know what spoons are, it's a theory for people who deal with hidden illnesses and hidden disabilities and things. And it's how we basically talk about being exhausted and being quite just exhausted, out of energy, things like that. So I'm trying to be better at monitoring my own health, and that does mean that sometimes Yay! Hopefully you can hear me now. Sorry about that. I don't know what quite happened. But there you go. Hopefully you can all hear me again now. But as I was saying, if you imagine that you've been poorly for a few days, okay, a friend will say to you, "Oh, I'm really sorry that you're feeling a bit under the weather. When you're feeling better, let me know and we'll go for coffee." Your best friend says, "Oh, I'm sorry you've been under the weather, but you've been under that duvet for 5 days now. I bet you stink. Get in that shower, get some clothes on. We are going to go out for coffee. And yeah, I'm going to be there in half an hour. And if you can't handle going outside, I've got the coffee, the sugar, and the milk. I'll bring it to you." Do you know what I mean? That is the difference. Your best friend can say to you, "You stink." Whereas a friend will just say, "Yeah, I'm sorry you've been feeling poorly. Oh, yeah, very sorry." And that's the difference. And the way that I read is like your best mate. Okay. If you are doing something that you know you shouldn't, it will come up in the cards when I read, right? We've had people with affairs, embezzlement, all sorts of bits and pieces have come up in cards over the 29 years. Doesn't happen very often, but it has been known to happen. Also, I have been known to be doing a reading for someone with their partner or mother, brother, cousin, whatever, sat next to them, and for bits and pieces of information to come up that brother, cousin, partner wasn't aware of. So do bear that in mind. Which should lead us directly on, by the way, to the housekeeping. We have got some housekeeping rules on this channel. They're very important. They're so important, I'll pop them on a video. Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or anytime in the future. Absolutely, that's really important. Okay, it's all well and good being young and free and, you know, not worrying about stuff this day and age, but you don't know, you don't want to post something, right, that a future employer will look at and go, just because they can't see it now doesn't mean they won't be able to see it at some point down the line. So then, it is 7:10 on a Sunday evening here in the UK. It is time to open up our first round of the evening. So then, if you would like to get yourself in for the chance of a tarot reading, do please pop your question to that there live chat just about now. The round is open. I've put the details into the comment section and it's also down in the description box. So if you don't know how to get a reading, it's all in the description box. That is there now, but we are now opening up the first round. So if you would like a reading, here's how to get one. Right then, let's have a look in that comment section. Bear with me, I'm just altering that to say housekeeping, because every single week, you know, every single week I'm like, here's the housekeeping, and then it doesn't actually say on the ticker tape, it doesn't say the word housekeeping, and it annoys me every single time. So now I've corrected that. There we go. Pop the keyboard back down there. I know, right? ADHD, I've got to do it when it's in my head, otherwise I'll forget. Right then, keeper of the questions, we've got Elise. Elise, I don't know who's in tonight. Let's have a look. Hang on, what am I doing? Comment section. Other one. There we go. Elise, good evening, my darling. Question: should I accept the job offer I got recently, or should I wait for something better? And will I find something better? Let's have a look at that for you. So I'm going to hit the star button on that one. And let me just take the ticker tape off. I'm going to change that to that one. Right then, my darling, let's have a look. So I'm going to do your reading straight after this.
We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!
Okay, so I've swapped over to the card cam. Once again, I think I'm using the Fifth Spirit deck. I do have the Unfolding Path as well, so I might swap and change tonight. In fact, I'm going to swap and change tonight. Absolutely, I am. So let's have a look. First of all, as always, let's cleanse the area and we'll bring in Wispy. Good evening, Wispy. If you don't know who Wispy is, there is a link in the description box right now to the podcast episode about my dragons. I've also popped it into the comment section, so do please go and check that out. Wispy, Elise would like to know, should I accept the job offer I got recently, or should I wait for something better, and will I find something better? Let's have a look. So we'll do it this way, Elise, because it's only a 3-card question, so we're a little bit limited as to what we can do. We'll do, should you accept the job offer you've got recently, or wait for something better? Okay, should you accept the job offer or wait for something better? So let's have a look, Wispy. What we'll do, Wispy, we'll do a either or with a disclaimer. Okay, either or, and the split. Okay, the tie break. That's what we'll do. Wispy knows what I'm talking about. So then, here we go. Do your cuts. So, should you accept the job offer? Should you wait? And what information do you need to make that decision? So, should you accept the job offer? We've got Page of Wands reversed. Should you wait? The transformation card reversed. This is death. Now, listen, I'm going to pop this on a pre-record because I say it every single week. This card does not mean death, right? It doesn't mean someone's going to snuff it. It doesn't mean the end of a life, anything like that. Unaliving. No. This means transition. This is a period of change, right? You can see we've got butterflies. We've got a snake. We've got another butterfly up here. And we've got all ages reflected here, right? All ages. We've also got an eclipse with the moon. We've got a new moon, or potentially the dark, heading towards the dark moon. And we've got a full moon. So this card is about transition. This card is about transformation. This card is about the closing of one chapter and the starting of another, okay? It is not about somebody here on the physical plane passing over into the next, right? It is not about that. So do not worry about that card being death. I'll explain what it means, but then help to make the decision. Oh, interesting. Right. So, Elise, should you accept the job offer? Page of Wands comes into play. Now, Page is very naive energy, very youthful energy. The way the tarot deck works, in a standard deck of cards, you go Ace 10, Jack, Queen, King. In a tarot deck, you go Ace 10, Page, Knight, Queen, King. So there's an extra set of cards. The Jack card is split, and the Page is youthful energy. The Knight is more teenage, rebellious energy for me, right? So Wands is your security, your sense of self, your how you see yourself, your confidence, all of those things. For me, it's that element of security. Okay, if you accept the job, it feels like you are going to be stepping into a realm where you are going to have to start very much at the beginning and building yourself back up. Okay, because we've got Wands, because it's the Page, it is that youthful, innocent, naive energy that comes in with the Page. And basically it feels like if you start that job, what will happen is that you will be the newbie, right? So it may be that your job is, I don't know, personal assistant. You'll be getting coffees, not just for the boss, for the entire office. It could be that your job is going in as a mechanic, right? could be a mechanic in a garage. You'll be getting coffees for the entire garage. It's that sort of thing where you're no matter what it is, you're going in as a surgeon. Well, that's great. You'll be getting coffees for the surgical department. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're going to have to. This here is a job where you are going to basically reset to a certain point before gaining that trust and that knowledge. Should you wait for something better? Again, both of these cards are reversed. So there's a little bit, it's almost like damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? If you wait for something better, there will be a transformational element that comes into this, right? The death card is a major arcana card, same as the world. This is a minor card. And what those mean is, for me, these are headline cards, right? So this is talking about there will be a major change in your life. If you don't accept this job and you wait for something better, there will be a major change in your life. However, that change, because this is reversed, that change may not be what you expect or what you want. Okay, so in terms of work, it could be that you end up going, actually, I'm not going to find a better job within this field, but I'm going to move completely to something else, right? And it may well be, say for example, you've been a nurse for years and years and years, and you want to, you're wanting to get a promotion within the nursing field. It could be that actually the job that you get has nothing to do with hands-on nursing. It could be to do with medical assessments, and your experience is used in that way. So you no longer deal with people face to face. You're just in an office dealing with going through you're the medical advisor for a law firm, potentially. Do you know what I mean? It's something that is that transformational, but this is reversed, which does come with that caveat of it's something that may not be to your liking. Okay. The card that we sat in the middle was basically what information do you need to make this choice, right? What information do you need? And you've got the world card. Now, this card is literally saying either way, you're going to step through a portal and start a new life, right? Either way. So the question is, do you step through, kind of accept this job, go in effectively as a newbie, and then build from there, build your trust, build your experience, build your, the way that other people see you, go through that process with the job that you've been offered? Or do you wait out for something that may come, that may be very different to what you're expecting, and may not be as fulfilling or whatever as you hope it to be because of this reversal? What is the most important thing for you, my darling? I would say, listen, there is no reason, right? Are you ready? Are you ready for a wild comment here? Are you ready? There is no reason you can't do both. There is no reason you can't do both. Accept the job offer. Hopefully I'm back. Sorry about that. It's not my system. It's beyond our control here. But there is no reason why you can't kind of take the job offer that's on now. And if it is something that you absolutely do not feel that you can restart back from square one, that you keep your eye open, one eye open on the job market for further down the line. I think once you step through, my gut instinct is, although this may feel like you're starting from square one again, my gut instinct is that this might actually be quite a decent job offer. Okay, something better may come up, but something better over here may come up as well further down the line. It's entirely up to you, my darling. As we always say, it is your choice, and you do make all your own choices about your own life. But there you are. I hope that helps. Thank you ever so much for your question. And yeah, hopefully that helps, my darling. So thank you ever so much for joining us. And let me pop that one back. Let me move that camera. I know it froze. Apologies, everybody, for the freezing. But yes, there you go, Elise. Hopefully that helps answer your questions. Whatever it is, you are stepping into a new world. That world card is a very lovely, wonderful card because you are starting over. There might be, okay, with that page of wands, the one thing I would say, you see this Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail, it might feel a little bit Groundhog Day-ish with this new job. That's all I'm going to say, right? It might feel a little bit Groundhog Day-ish, that you're kind of, because it is a card of sort of starting over, it might feel as if that is something you're having to do. I do apologize. So yeah, anyway, hopefully that helps. Right then, let's have a look. So it is 24 minutes past 7. We've got one done with a little wee pause in the middle. So the Ouroboros is, and Groundhog Day is, it may feel like you are, because you're starting, because the page of wands is like starting over again, starting afresh, starting with a clean slate. You're not transferring any of your not your expertise, your trust and respect from your colleagues, right? You're walking in blind. So it may feel that you've got to work to gain that trust and relationship with your colleagues, because of course you do, because it's a brand new job. That may be a little bit annoying and difficult, right? If you, for instance, if I was to go and work on one of those dodgy telephone, not that I ever would, but those dodgy telephone lines doing tarot, there would be a certain script I would have to follow. I could not follow that script, right? Because I'm no longer a beginner starting over with the tarot, right? So I could no longer go, oh, look, the chariot, oh, you're going to move. There's a movement here. I could no longer be that, if that makes sense, because the chariot for me is all about a different thing. It's, yes, there is movement, but there's also a spiritual element to it. There is a journey. There's all sorts of other inner workings. I could not go by the little guides that people on phone lines have. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm past that point. Hopefully that makes sense. Right then, good evening. A bird in the hand is worth holding on to. Exactly. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. What that means is that holding... it's a hunting reference, basically. If you've gone out and you've shot a pheasant, right, or a turkey or whatever it is, you've shot a bird for dinner, right? We'll keep it to dinner. And you've got your pheasant and you're like, oh, I'm going to have a lovely pheasant for dinner, right? That is worth a lot more. That one single bird is worth a lot more than seeing two pheasants over there somewhere that you haven't been able to shoot. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. Good evening, Melinda Brown. I meant to say hello to you earlier on when I saw that you asked a question. And good evening. I think I've said hello to everybody that's on currently. Lorraine, good evening, my darling. Right then, so shall we have another round? I think it is time to have another round, you know. I really do. I really think it's time to have another round. Don't forget, if you want to guarantee your slot, that sounds wrong, but if you want to guarantee your position that you get yourself a tarot reading, then do please send it through as a super chat. If not, you pop your name in your hat by doing the following. The new round is now officially open, so it is time. Go ahead, pop your question, starting with the word question, into that there live comment section, and one of these will get chosen at random by the keeper of the questions. Okay, go ahead and do that now. The other way to guarantee your slot is to send it through as a super chat. If you want a longer reading, a 6-7 card reading, a bit more detail, then send it through at a minimum of $8 or £6 here in the UK currently. Okay, so then, keeper of the question. Let me just turn this banner off because it gets really annoying otherwise. Keeper of the questions, who have we got? I'm waiting for a name. While I do that, I'm clicking on this one. Nope, that one. We are going with Veiled Visionary. Veiled Visionary. Okay, hello, Veiled Visionary. I didn't know that you had popped in. What's your thingy? Your profile picture is very interesting. Right then, so Veiled. That's a very difficult name for me to say. Veiled Visionary. I don't know why it's difficult to say. Animesh and Shreya relationship future. Okay, we're going to have a look at that for you, my darling. So then, let me swap the camera. Also, I seem to be sinking in the shot, don't I? I'm going to have to move that down ever so slightly. My seat, I think I need to replace the gas in my seat. That sounded a lot less. Yes, anyway, let's just move on from gas in my seat. If you've got one of the uppy downy office chairs, you know what I'm talking about. So then let's have a look. I'm going to swap in fact, I'll tell you what, I will do your reading, my darling, straight after this. So you've got exactly 15 seconds. Okay, so then we are looking at Animesh and Shreya. Okay, my darling, let's have a look. Cleanse the space and bring in the always lovely Wispy with the wind chime sounds. So then, Wispy, Veiled Visionary would like to know, what does Animesh and Shreya's future relationship look like? What is their relationship like in the future? So then, what we'll do, my darling, how many cards was that? That was a single card. We had a single card through all the way over there, and that card was that card was the 10 of Wands. Now then, Wands for me is all about security, but 10s are when things get very, very, very how can I put it? Very over the top, right? It's when things overflow. So in terms of a relationship, it's almost saying that it becomes not, what's the word? It's not parasitic, and it's definitely not parasocial. Sorry, I'm just putting me coffee in the cup. It feels like it's almost going to be a little bit oh my god, there's a word for it. There is a word for it. Bear with me. My brain has decided to malfunction. It's when neither of you can be separate from the other, right? That's what it's giving. That feeling of it being that feeling of it being doubly connected, if that makes sense. Like where, oh, there is a word for it, and I'm hopefully somebody in the chat can tell me what I'm trying to say. The word for the relationship where it's like both of you are in each other's pockets, both of you can't exist without the other. There is a word for it, and it's not. Oh gosh, I'm sure somebody will put it in the comment section for me in a second. But anyway, let's look at your card. So whenever a card jumps, we split the deck, we stop shuffling, we do your cut. So where you are up to now, where this relationship has come up to now, where the relationship, what you need to know about the relationship, and where the relationship is headed into the future. Okay, so there is a word for this, and I cannot remember what the heck it is. But basically, it's where you become so codependent. Thank you, brain. It's where you become so codependent on each other that you end up not being able to exist without each other. Does that make sense? Now, this is a warning. This is a warning here, because these cards might not be the best. So let's have a look. We've got the 7 of Pentacles coming up in the where you are now. Pentacles is all about work, career, finances, but it's also about growth because it has that earth energy about it. It's about growth. Okay. This is talking about, it's almost like a 7-year itch, right? It's almost like a 7-year itch where it's got to that point in a relationship where you're trying to work out whether you carry on with that relationship or whether you look elsewhere. And it's that because we've got the 7, literally you can see this person has the pruning tools and the shovel. Do we dig up this plant right now? Do we harvest it says peas, but these are more like pumpkins, right? These are giant fruits. Do we harvest this now? Or do we try and keep it nurturing for the future? And this is that decision point where you're at, okay? So it doesn't feel particularly positive. If you're reaching this point of questioning, then there's a question. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason that question is there. Then we get the 3 of Swords coming up in the what you need to know. 3 of Swords is the universal heartbreak card. Okay, that is what the card always refers to. Now, in this deck, there's a little bit of hope because that heartbreak is being repaired. I don't know whether you can see, we've got stitches on wounds. So we've got a fresh wound here and what looks like a fresh wound just there. But you can see this one has been stitched. And we've got the wounds are being stitched, so the repair can be made, right? All is not lost, but this is in the what you need to know. This would talk about a separation, a heartbreak. Somebody has perhaps emotionally damaged the other. Somebody has moved on. There is something here saying that there is a lot of heartache involved in that relationship right now. It's not necessarily completely over, because as I say, this is the one deck where you've got that glimmer of hope because the repair is possible. But if you're questioning, you know what I mean? Is that repair going to be too little too late? If it's been stabbed 3 times by 3 massive swords, just having it stitched back up, is that enough long term? If this was a real life heart in the real world, would it survive? Question. And then the outcome card, we've got another indecisive card, again, with the Pentacles. 5s and 7s are quite similar in how they come across. The 5 is more turmoil. The 7 is questioning and difficult choices. The 7 is turmoil. So we can see that somebody's made these mile markers. And there's a name for them, and I always forget what it is. But somebody has made these, and they've built this out of the stones. And we've got the 5 pentacles here, look, on the stones. And somebody has left an offering at this mile marker. But this is reversed. And this is saying that the journey is not done yet. But because it's reversed, it feels like somebody in this relationship cannot be bothered moving forward. Somebody cannot be bothered, right? I don't know whether this is you, my darling, or whether, I don't know which one Animesh and Shreya is related to yourself, but somebody cannot be bothered taking this relationship further. And it almost feels like because you were both so codependent, once one person checks out, it's a little bit like if you imagine conjoined twins, right? When you get a pair of conjoined twins, if one passes, because of the linked blood supply and the link to, everything is interconnected. Unfortunately, if one conjoined twin passes, it's not very long before the second passes as well. If when they get into adulthood and things like that. And this is what it feels like, my darling. It feels like somebody is absolutely checking out of this relationship. Okay. If that is yourself, then like cut that cord and move yourself forward. If that is your partner, then again, you need to be very, very aware of the fact that not only are they checking out, but the hope that this can be repaired. When we look at the 5 of Pentacles here, it already feels like that work is done and that somebody just doesn't want to do that journey anymore. I'm sorry, my darling, that is not great news, but I can only give you the knowledge that the cards give me. I can only give you the answers in the cards. Again, do please remember that tarot is all about your life and your choices, and you do make all your own decisions about your own life. But my darling, that is going to be your reading for today. And I hope it helps. At least all I can say is forewarned is forearmed, my darling. Do you know what I mean? At least having some knowledge going forward might actually help going forward. Let me have a look in that comment section. So then let's have a look. Obligate relationship. Codependency. Yep, that's where I was headed. So yes, anyway, I hope that helps, Veiled Visionary. I really do. Hot Sun, good afternoon, good evening to you. Morning to morning. Hello, morning. Tonya Dickerson. Hello, Tonya. Hold off a second, my darling. I'm not opening around just yet because Laura has popped a super chat into the chat, if that makes sense. Laura has donated a super chat, which means Laura Q jumps everybody to get her question. So then, my darling, let's have a wee look for you. Laura, your question is going to be up right now. Patricia, my darling, you might want to refresh. I think you're a little bit behind in the chat there for some reason. But I'm going to do Laura's reading. Laura, I'll do your reading right now, straight after this.
We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God!
Okay, I'm just trying to this camera arm, because I have to move it every time. It gets a little bit wibbly, but there you go, my darling. So then, as always, for Laura, let's go ahead. This is a 3-card reading. Let me just double check. Yep, so I've got a 3-card reading for Laura, and we're going to go ahead and cleanse the space as always. Always clockwise, always cleansing, and bring in Wispy, the air elemental dragon that I work with. Again, I'll pop the link back in the doodah. If you are new here, Wispy, my air elemental dragon, is actually a thing. It's a dragon that I work with that brings energy from the Akashic records and brings it through the cards. Okay. There's a whole podcast episode that me and Necro Neil did all about Wispy and my other dragons as well, because I've got one for each of the 5 elements. But Wispy is mainly who we use when we're talking about the tarot, because it's air element. Anyway, Wispy, Laura wants to know what is coming towards her this week. What is coming towards Laura this week? What is coming up? It feels, Laura, oh, there we go. We've had a card jump. 8 of Swords. I'll come to that in a second. It feels like something is coming up this week. You're expecting something. Let's have a look. So, cut your cards. Why do I do the cut there? As soon as we get a card jump, I have to cut the cards, because this is your clarifying or modifying card. Okay. So first things first, what is the 8 of Swords all about? Well, Swords is all about trouble and strife. Okay, so Swords is all about the lessons, the hurdles, the obstacles in life. Sounds a bit depressing, doesn't it, that this one's coming up this week? However, the 8 of Swords is actually quite a good. If you had to get a sword card, this isn't a bad sword card to have. It's saying that, yes, there are lessons to learn, but this is going to be cutting through this tape. And this tape is not only binding, but it's blocking you from seeing and blocking you from knowing what is going on in your life. Okay, so this is a card. In some decks, it's you can see a woman and she's surrounded by swords, literally penned in by the swords, and she's got a blindfold that's being lifted, and she's got a hand tied behind her back. In this case, the swords are actually scissors, because, you know, why not? And you can see they have bound the scissors. They are blocking them in. And this one pair of scissors is cutting through. This is absolutely talking about this week there being a revealing, an unveiling of truth. Okay. That might be a good thing. It might come across as a bad thing. Either way, because it's swords, it is a lesson that is needed. This truth is needed. Whatever it is, it needs to come out, right? And quite often this is the thing with secrets. A secret wants to be known. Secrets don't want to be kept hidden. They want to be found out. And so that kind of feels like this week there is definitely a revealing, an unveiling, a secret that might unexpectedly pop out, put it that way. Right then, let's have a look. So where you are up to now, judgment reversed, right? Okay. Somebody is judging you very harshly, or you're judging yourself incredibly harshly. What you need to know, 5 of Cups, okay? And the outcome, 7 of Cups. Okay, my darling. So let me just straighten that cloth up. So the tarot is separated into 2 main sections, okay? We've got majors and minors. The majors are the named cards. The minors are the number of blank, right? So here you've got 5 of Cups, 7 of Cups, and 8 of Swords. These are all minors, the number of suit. So these are what I call the fill-in. These are the details. The major, you've got judgment, okay? So this is like a headline. These are the details of that headline. Judgment, if it was this way up, it's calling you to be judged on your deeds and your actions. This way up means whatever has happened, whatever's bringing you to this week, to where we are now, somebody is being incredibly harsh to you and judging you completely unfairly, and before your full story is out there. Does that make sense? It's almost like this card, it literally depicts that this is supposedly a version of the angel calling the souls, the fallen souls, up to heaven and being judged on their deeds and being judged on their acts and their words, right? So you can see these souls are already rising to the afterlife, right? Heaven, whatever you call it, they are rising into their next state. They are ascending. These are also waiting and being judged. So this is all about that judgment element, right? The thing is, these souls have that's their life done, right? That's the end, right? There is no more to write. That is it. End of story. Now you're judged on everything you've done. This isn't partway through a story. Do you know what I mean? This isn't that we are halfway through. No. You only get judged at the end. At least in theory. This card, when it's this way around, is almost like someone's judging you where you're up to right now. And it's like you haven't had your redemption arc yet. Do you know what I mean? Or you haven't had your villain arc. Whatever it is, you are not yet at the end of your story. So people are judging you without knowing all of the details and all of that context. And this is echoing this 8 of Swords card. This truth is being revealed. But at the moment, people don't know what this is. So they're judging you without knowing this. Right? When this comes out, they will judge you differently. So hopefully this is a good secret, Laura. What you need to know. Right, there we go. Sorry, it keeps freezing at YouTube's end. It isn't our end. So, the 5 of Cups in what you need to know. The 5 of Cups. Cups is your emotional suit. Okay, so Cups, we've got Cups here. Cups is all about emotions. Cups is all about how you feel and how we feel about things, right? The 5 is a really interesting card. I think at the moment you are in quite a mixed place right now, and you're feeling quite negative. You're feeling quite sad and quite emotionally in the negative zone, right? In the negative emotions. Reason for saying that, I keep flipping it upside down, but I'll show you. This has got 5 cups in it, right? I know they're not all cups, artistic license and all of that. 5 drinking vessels, right? So we've got a soda can, a bottle, a cup, a glass, and another glass, right? Or whatever that is, one of those teacups that don't have handles. What you've got is 3 of them are empty and these 2 are full. This one's got a lovely tea bag in it and this is a glass of water, right? So 3 bad, 2 good. Over the scheme of things, that's quite a negative thing, isn't it? Right? But it's reversed, my darling. And what this is saying is that actually you are just, I don't want to say wallowing, but wallowing, right? There's a little bit of wallowing in negativity and not allowing yourself to see how things actually are, because if you look closely, this cup isn't damaged, it's just empty, right? It's on its last drip. That's not damaged. These 2 are. Forget about these 2. You can't do anything about them. Eventually that will get made into another glass bottle, that will get eventually made into another soda can, eventually down the line, whatever's. These are gone, but you've got 3 working cups. Yes, one's empty, probably because you've drunk it, right? You've still got more positive than negative to be seen. But at the moment, because this is coming up in what you need to know, and because it's reversed, it's saying that I don't think you can see that. Again, this idea of things not quite being revealed yet. It absolutely feels like you are looking at you're looking at the glass half empty, right? You're looking at this cup going, oh, I've got an empty cup. Yeah, well, you've just drunk all the hot chocolate. Of course it's empty, because you've drunk the most delicious hot chocolate. I can't even speak. But you've drunk all the lovely hot chocolate or coffee or whatever it is, wine, vodka. You've drunk it. So it's empty because you've had it. Like, this isn't a sad thing. This is great because you've had it. You've enjoyed it, right? That's what this card is trying to say, is that, look, whatever is happening, there is a silver lining that you are not seeing, and things are not as bad as they seem. And things, although they feel really shit right now, they are not as bad as you are making them out to be. It will be better. And then for the end of the week, because you're asking about what's happening this week, the 7 of Cups. So do you remember in the last reading where we had a 5 and we had a 7 and they were linked with difficult choices and things and realizations and turmoil? This is that realization and turmoil. This is the difficult choices. You've got some emotional choices to make. Okay, once everything's revealed, once the truth is out and the secret's out, you have got some choices to make. This octopus, I used to say it was a snake, it's actually an octopus, is trying to escape its bottle and get to the little fish, right? And you can see the fish going, what? So you've got all of these 7 vessels, again, forget that they're not cups, are about they've all got different choices, different gifts, different things in them. So you've got an unknown scroll in this one. You've got a, what's that called, a snow globe in this one. This is one of those mushroomariums. I know they've got a name, I forget what they are, where you grow mushrooms in it. We've got a ship in a bottle, we've got a goldfish, we've got a spider that's been caught, and we've got an octopus or a squid that is trying to make its way out, right? These 7 options, these gifts, these choices that you have to make, only you can make these choices, right? Only you are able to decide where you head and what you deal with emotionally. But that choice needs to be made. And I think it needs to be made, literally needs to be made this week to help you deal with this. Okay. Whatever this reveal is, whatever is going on, you need to make these decisions. You're going to be placed in this position this week. And the best way forward is with full knowledge and with nothing being hidden, as tough as that is, because of swords, and as much of a hurdle and as much of a, you know, sometimes the truth hurts and sometimes the truth can also set us free. But it is something that you need to have, the truth and all the knowledge to make these decisions. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say the very best of luck. It does feel like you've got some tough choices at the end of the week. But thank you ever so much for your question. And I do hope that at least gives you some answers and maybe points you in a bit of a new direction. But thank you ever so much for your question and for your super chat. Right then, let me have a look. Veiled Visionary, no problem at all, my darling. Thank you. Oh, look, Beyond Boldly Dream, you've been a member for 2 months. You'll have to wait, my darling, until we open up a free round, but you've been a member for 2 months. Congratulations on that. Good evening, Ed. Sorry you're late. No problem at all, my darling. Oh, look at all the sparkly things. What are those? They look cool. I know it's the hands doing a heart, and then you've got little sparkly things. That looks really cool. It's like glittery. Thank you, Ed. I have forgot to ask. If you're here, there's 11 of you watching. There was 15 a second ago, but hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumb. I know, right? People have gone, oh my god. As soon as I put my face on camera, they're like, ah, exit, exit, exit. Do please hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done already. That would be lovely. And also hit that subscribe button, but ding your bell. Please, please, please ding your bell, right? And then change your settings to all. YouTube is really weird at the moment. It's not sending out notifications the way that it did. So please check your settings and change them to all. Even if you've already done that, even if you did it last week or yesterday or earlier today, please double check, because I know full well we've got another account on YouTube that we use to upload health and beauty videos and things like that. And I know, because I've got that account, YouTube doesn't tell me quite often that I've gone live on here. So please do make sure that you change those settings. So yes, I've got a thank you, my darling. Thank you, my darling. That is lovely. So happy, in gratitude. Glad to see Lisa on YouTube again. Oh, thank you ever so much, my darling. That's very, very kind of you. Is that for your question that you asked earlier on? I will try and find that back in the chat. Yep, I've got that one there. Fabulous. I will do your reading coming up next, my darling. Laura, no problem at all. I hope that helps, my darling. I really do hope that the reading helps. I know it's probably not what you want to hear. Again, forewarned is forearmed, and I do genuinely wish you the very best. Sometimes, do you know what? Truth is awful. Sometimes truth is awful, and knowing the truth can be incredibly tough. But I believe very, very firmly, to the root of my existence, written through me like a stick of rock or like in my DNA, is the idea that actually the truth is where we need to begin, right? Authenticity is where we start. Once we get to that point where we live our life authentically, it's why the channel's called Beyond Authentic, because once we start authentically and we live authentically, true to our true self, then we are truly living, right? And for that truth, whatever this is that's going to be revealed this week, whatever it is that you have to face, my darling, listen, you will be better off in the long run knowing the truth, right? Might not feel like it, but in the long term, whatever secrets get hidden, whatever happens in life, knowing the truth, knowing our authentic self, that is where we start, and that's where we move on from. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Patricia, they've already done it. I've got Boldly Dreams question further up in the chat. So just before I do Boldly Dreams question, I am going to pop this on screen. Now, our lovely moderator Holland currently has an Etsy shop. Now, I know they're moving away from it and they're doing a lot more on this here YouTube's. But they do have an Etsy shop. It's called Blue Chalice, and it's a lovely place if you want to get yourself some subtly witchy things, some druidery type things. Do please go and check this out. And you know me, I do not recommend things unless I absolutely 100% believe in them. And whether Holland was a friend or a mod or not, I really do like what they sell over here. Blue Chalice is a small business making crafty creations for the witchy community. From jewellery to wall hangings, witch bells to altar tiles. Why not have a look at bluechalice.etsy.com. There we go. Oh, hopefully you can all see me and hear me again. Good Lord. Good Lord. It had stuck. I am back. I am back. I am back. Sorry, we're having difficulty with the either at StreamYard's end or YouTube's end. I'm not sure which, but yes. Anyway, let's get your question up, my darling. Your question is here. Hopefully you can all hear me again, and hopefully you can see me again. So yes, hopefully everything is working. Yay, good. Right, so then I'm not going to make you wait. I was going to do the jingly thing, but I'm not going to do any of that. We're going to go straight in with Boldly Dreams reading. Okay, my darling, what do my angels and guides want me to know? So that is your question, basically, for the purposes of the tarot. So then let's go ahead. I'm going to close the space, and we're going to bring in Wispy. Just to let you all know, when it freezes, I am completely aware because my screen dies before any of yours does. So I will always pause. Literally, I'm like la 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 la. I stop and I pause what I'm doing, so that as soon as it comes back, there isn't a, it's not like I've gone, here's this card and now we're moving on to this card over here. It's like, no, I absolutely stop and pause and wait for it to come back. And sometimes I have to press a load of buttons behind the scenes and make it come back, which is really annoying. But you'll know that. Now, hang on, Wispy, that isn't to do with the reading because I haven't gone through that yet. So then, let's have a look. So here we go. I think that's nicely shuffled. So Wispy, Boldly Dream wants to know what their angels and guides are telling them. Ooh, had a card drop, a single card. It's the Lovers, and it's the Lovers reversed. Now, do not worry, Boldly Dream, if you are in a relationship currently. Right, the fact that this has come up and it's reversed, do not worry about it. I will explain. Let's do your cut first, though. There we go. So then, this Lovers card, right, in this deck is different to almost every Lovers card I've ever come across in the tarot. It's why I love this deck so much. This card, right, this is, yes, it can relate to lovers. It can relate to, romantic connection. I don't really can see though. We've got wings either side and the little love heart there in white on the beige. It's a little bit hard to read, hard to see sometimes. But so we have got that traditional lovers card. We've got the tying of the knot. We've got the apples from, Garden of Eden. We've got all of that symbology involved. We've got here the apples are fire. You've got little green flames licking, and here we've got the standard leaves. The most important part about this card is the fact that you've got a polar opposite, right? You've got the shadow self. The shadow self. This is, in the last reading, you saw that we had that Eight of Swords coming up about truth. This is about absolutely knowing yourself, right? There is a whole quote, and I hate where it comes from. Well, no, I don't mind where it comes from, but I hate that it's so pop culture, right? And that is, if you can't love yourself, how are you going to love someone else? And that is what this card absolutely relates to. This is you, right? And this is your opposite self. Warts and all, you can see they've not sucked in their tummy, they haven't changed their hair. This is looking into your self, your true self, your authentic self. This is looking into your shadow side, all of those things, your spiritual side, all of those things that you need to know about yourself, right? Loving yourself before you move forward. That is what this card is about. It is reversed, which means I think there is work here, right? It could also be, listen, if you are in a relationship and it's a little bit iffy and rocky at the moment, it could be relating to that. But with this deck, I think it's absolutely important and so vital that it acknowledges that for this deck specifically, it's talking about also looking at your own dark corners of your psyche, right? Shining light in those hidden corners in the back of your mind, in your how you feel about the world, your spiritual self, absolutely truly knowing yourself and knowing and knowing, loving yourself, right? Hopefully that makes sense, because it is that deep, and it is that important. Let's have a look at the cards themselves then. So you've donated more than the minimal amount, so you get yourself a longer reading, my darling. Oh, I've done the cut already. So let's have a look. So we're going to do I tell you what, Wispy, let's do the inverted triangle. So where you are, what you need to know, what is the path. Go down deeper. Interesting that we get the majors coming up here, look, and then we go to the base. Oh, interesting. Right, so we've got where you are now. This is everything that's led you to where you are at the moment. We've got the Ace of Swords. It is reversed. It feels like you're in a bit of a new learning sphere, right, about yourself. Reason I keep coming to about yourself is because we've got this Lover's card here. It feels like you are learning to maybe to heal from previous trauma, because sometimes that's what that shadow self can represent, or also you're learning to forgive yourself for your own past transgressions is the wrong word, but for your own past actions that you're not proud about, right? It feels like there is a lot of work that you are doing at the moment. The Ace of Swords, if it was this way up, trouble's coming, right? Trouble's coming, new souls are coming, everything's going to get a bit difficult. This way up, it's like you are, it's bizarre, but it feels like you are actually doing that work. Does that make sense? Because normally when it's reversed, I say, oh, it's coming from outside. This time round, because this is where you are, because this is reversed, it kind of feels like you are doing this. You are, how can I put it? I would be surprised if you weren't on a journey of discovery, or a journey of healing, a journey of, you know, introspection, looking inwards at your own life and where things are going. Because it really does feel like this Ace of Swords, this is hurdles and challenges, but it doesn't feel like this is something that you're surprised by. It feels like this is something that you are absolutely 100% moving through and moving towards. Does that make sense? And that would only come if it was you that initiated that in the first place. So it feels really positive. Again, with this Lover's card, it actually feels quite positive. Even though it is a hurdle card, a turmoil card, it does feel like this is a lesson that you need to learn, and you're already making steps to learn it. The 10 of Pentacles coming up in the what you need to know. Pentacles is work, career, finances, but it's also growth and effort, because it's got that Pentacles, because it's got that earth connection to it. Now, you've heard me say 100 times, when something is full, I see the 9 as full and the 10 as overflowing. So there is a certain element here where it feels like there's a lot of either, it could be that you're taking a lot on work-wise, and almost you're taking on too much work-wise, or it could be if you are doing shadow work, right? If that is something that you are actually working on and something that you are actually doing, then it oh, hang on, where's that gone? I just pressed something. There we go. That's what I meant to do. If you are actively doing, you know, going on this sort of path and doing this work, then it feels like you're absolutely on the right path. It's going to feel tough. It's going to feel hard because this reversal is here, and because it is overflowing, sometimes it can be overwhelming, right? The amount of effort you're putting, you have to put into something at the moment, whatever this new project, new version of you is, it feels like you're absolutely putting everything into it, and that you weren't expecting to. Does that make sense? It's almost like you get a new job and then they land you not just with everything that you were expecting to do, they basically go, oh, we're really short staffed at the moment, so here, have Bob's work and also have Susan's work, and we expect it done by the end of the month. Do you know what I mean? It's like, whatever this journey is, whatever this is, it really is a hell of a lot that is happening, right? A hell of a lot that you've taken on that's on your plate right now. If it is in terms of your interpersonal growth, then again, my God, all I can say is I hope that you're getting counseling support, because it feels like there is a lot here. The Four of Pentacles, it's like, as much as you are trying to work through this, there's a certain stagnancy going on. How do I square those two statements with those two cards? Easily, because it kind of feels like, as much as we've got this Lover's card here and this shadow work, it almost feels like you're trying to queue jump. You're trying to skip some lessons halfway through. Does that make sense? Quite often when we're going on journeys, things are difficult, and they have to be difficult for us to get the most out of it, right? When we're talking about a spiritual journey, where the Four of Pentacles is coming in, this stagnancy, it almost feels like you're ready to face a lot of things, right? You're ready to own up to this over here and that over there, but not this yet. It's like you're keeping, I'm just like, you can deal with all of that. This, I'm just going to put this over. I'm just going to, oh, okay, you want to audit everything. Well, I tell you what, you audit all of that. I'm going to hide that over there. What cup of coffee? I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Whilst you're hiding, whilst there is an element here that you are keeping protected, whether that is for your own good or not, you're not doing this shadow work. You're not doing it properly, right? Hopefully this is making sense. Let me explain. So in terms of shadow work, when you look within, you will find that there are all sorts of things that come up, right? Any type of long-term deep counseling. I went through counseling a couple of years back to deal with all of the cancer stuff that I had going on at the time. And whilst I was there, it revealed a lot of other stuff that had been, that I'd been ignoring, right? And so actually it was before that. But anyway, whilst I was going through counseling for this, a load of other stuff came up that I had repressed for years. That is something that once it came up, I had to deal with. Technically I didn't have to, but I chose to, so that I would be able to look into all of those little dark nooks and crannies in the back of my head, in my psyche, and know that what was there, right? I could have ignored what came up and just carried on. But the fact is, in our lives, when we've got elements of ourselves that we aren't proud of, and there's elements of ourselves that we are that negatively affect our emotions, it is very easy to ignore that forever and ever and ever. The problem with that is that it literally sits and it becomes oil in our life, right? It becomes this thick black gunky oil, and eventually it pops itself to the surface. Now that might not be a problem, but if it pops itself to the surface on your nicely tended lawn, you're going to have some issues. Again, mixed metaphors, I know, but that is something that you need to deal with. And when we're looking at doing shadow work and looking within and starting spiritual journeys and all of this, you need to be prepared, fully prepared, to deal with what comes up. And the fact that this Lover's card reversed is here and these cards are coming up is suggesting that perhaps there are elements, my darling, that you don't quite want to face yet. But once they come up, you need to deal with it. Do you know what I mean? It's like going on one of those surprise family programs. Suddenly, here, look, we found your long lost sister. Now you've got a sister. You might not have wanted one. You might have to now reprocess and go, oh, hang on. Well, what does that mean for my relationship with my parents? Blah, 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 blah. You've got to deal with life when it comes up. Anyway, in between the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles, we've got the Magician. The Magician is a major card. The Magician is talking about having the tools to change your life. The Magician is talking about having the ability, having everything at your fingertips to move forward. You've just got to put the will there, right? You've got to put the effort in. It's like me saying, oh, I really want to lose weight. Well, if I carry on eating a load of bloody chocolate and a load of biscuits and a load of crap food, I'm not going to be losing weight. Long term, I need to do something I've got the tools in my at my hands. I need to add the will. Once that will is in place, not like you're dead, who gets the pets, but once that effort is in place, then things move forward. I've got the things at my fingertips. I've just got to do it. It's like making a cake, right? You've got all the ingredients there. You've just got to put them together, and all of a sudden, you've got something at the end of it. This is saying that to you as well, my darling. Whatever this journey is that you need to go on, you need to just do it. You've got the elements. You've got everything at your fingertips. Just do it. It's not going to be pleasant, and there are going to be things that come up that you aren't happy about, but you've just got to do it, because out the other end of it will be much, much better. Does that make sense? It's like, again, making that cake. Yeah, you're going to get flour everywhere. You're going to get eggs on the side. You're going to have all that mess. At the end of it, you'll have a lovely cake. Move forward. I know, right? I am the queen of mixed metaphors. Anyway, linking the 10 of Pentacles. This idea of it being too much, this growth being too much effort, too much hassle, too much. We've got the moon to this stagnant energy, right? Linking these two, we've got the moon. This is talking about perhaps 28 days. This is saying perhaps you need to start making a move on this coming month. Things need to shift, because if nothing changes, my darling. This is reverse. So I think there is a certain amount of, how can I put it, urgency here. I think there is some urgency here, because literally, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And this is saying and screaming at me, you've got, like, you need to start this in a month. Do you know what I'm saying? At the base, we've got the Two of Cups. So we've got Lovers here, and we've got the Two of Cups here. I think I am questioning whether or not you are looking for a partner, or you're looking for a love life enhancement. You're looking for something in that romantic sector. And I think that this Two of Cups, this is hinting at that, and that actually you are wanting to embrace love energy and romantic energy and having all of that in your life. But you also recognize that at the moment you're going through this, right? I think you need to go through this journey of discovery. You need to go through this, learn from previous mistakes that you made, that were made by others. Get all of that dealt with, get all of that counseling support, all of that work done. Look in those dark places. Again, you need counseling to help balance that. But look in those dark places at what you did wrong, what others did wrong. Take responsibility, take accountability, and then this blockage, this stagnant energy will pass. It will pass, right? And it will move, it will shift. And it will, instead of it being stagnant, it could become stable, or it could become flowing. But at the moment, whilst this is all locked down, you need to just look, and you need to learn. Okay, I hope that helps. I don't know whether any of that makes any sense to you, Boldly Dream. I really hope it does, because it feels like it's an important message at this moment for you. It really, really, really does. Let me come into the live doodah. Lots of changes right now. Okay, hang on one second. What's that? Yes, Melinda. Okay. You have schizophrenia and deep depression and regularly go to counseling. I work on me all the time. To work on yourself always takes time. It does, my darling. It always takes time. Things are a bit overwhelming right now. Yep, absolutely. That 10 of Pentacles in the what's going on behind the scenes. Absolutely. You feel you're doing well. The settlement's going to court in January. You've been grieving from your cousin passing away in your home recently. Life isn't easy. It isn't, my darling, but listen, life is not meant to be easy. It's meant to throw us the challenges and the hurdles, because that's how we learn. Okay? Take some time out for you. Self-care, absolutely. Journey of self-discovery, all of that moving forward, absolutely. But you have to do it with counseling support, and you have to do it with self-care in mind, right? You need to look after yourself as you go through that journey. You really, really, really do. And I'm so sorry that your cousin passed away. I really am. Oh, no problem, my darling. I have been through counselling since I was 17. And it's something I've done. I've gotten a couple of counseling skills, like low level counseling qualifications in my time. It's something I recommend for everybody. Like, I know the idea for some people, listen, everybody watching this right now, right? For some people, the idea of going to counseling is an admission that you can't cope or that things are getting really tough. Counseling is just a way of clearing the stuff, right? Clearing the guff, having a spring clean out in your head, in your psyche. That is what counseling is amazing at. It's good at getting a non-biased person, right? A non-biased person that you are able to bounce that idea off, right? And you may be incredibly lucky and have a really good friend or a family member that you normally talk about problems, right? That you go, oh, I'm feeling really low, really this. Having a counselor who is not connected with you in any way, that, you know, may be worried about you in terms of if you were there you know, in an extremely poor mental health state, but they wouldn't be if you were there saying, oh, actually, you know, I really hate it when my wife I don't know, let's think of a scenario. I really hate it when my wife gets upset about I really hate it when my wife calls me out on not doing housework. There's a lot to unpick there, isn't there? You're really upset with the wife calling you out for not doing housework. So can you discuss that with your wife? Possibly, but it's probably going to get all emotional, isn't it? Can you discuss it with your best friend? Well, you can do, but your best friend might say, but you should be. You should be helping out with the housework. You should be. What a counsellor might do is say, okay, so let's unpick that. You are upset that your wife calls you out on not doing housework. Is there a reason you're not doing housework? Oh, actually, it turns out that you are suffering from ME, and you literally don't have the energy, and you are struggling with spoons. Well, in that case, maybe the expectation to carry out physical housework is a bit too much. And all of that, you see this scenario and you unpick it. A counsellor can unpick it in a way that isn't pointing fingers or sharing blame or anything like that. And also, they're not going to judge you, and they're not going to bring it up in an argument 3 months later. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I absolutely 100% recommend. Nina, have you received a super chat? Nope. Super chat is done through YouTube system, and you have an email and receipt. Well, YouTube doesn't send emails and receipts, my darling, as far as I know. Let me have a look in the start section. Nope. I have, and we've had super chats today, my darling. So we've had super chats, and yours has not come through, my darling. So there is nothing on our system. Let me go into the back end. Hang on a second. YouTube. Is this YouTube or YouTube Studio? Oh, this is YouTube. Hang on. Let me go into the studio. La 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 la. Bear with me a moment. Nope, nothing on there. Supers. Nope, nothing has come through. There's been 2 supers, one from Laura for $5 and one from Boldly Dream for $19.99. That is all that is showing up on YouTube's end, my darling. Do you have an email you can reach out to for anything? What? Do I have an email you can reach out to me on? Anything you send payments for on YouTube goes to your email. Yeah, you get. Yeah, but what I mean is, when you've paid, when you make a super chat or donate a donation through super chat, you will get a receipt kind of I think it goes through automatically, doesn't it? And it will say Google or Alphabet or whatever one, however it comes through, and it will say YouTube, like you have just spent $5 or whatever it is. Also get an email, but you do, yeah, you get an email, but it's got nothing to do with my email. It's got nothing to do with anything on this end, and it's automatic, Nina. So once you've pressed that little note thing down in the comment section, it automatically comes through on this channel. It's not as if you can put it on another channel by mistake or anything else like that. Let me just hit refresh on here. Nope. And let me just, in fact, I can confirm. Share screen. And on YouTube, 1 second. There you go. So you can see here, look, these are the last super chat amounts and things that have gone on. I'm just checking then that there was nothing here, but you can see here, this is what has come in, the 2 that have come in today. Okay, and there is absolutely nothing on there, nothing on there from yourself at all, my darling. So yeah, there's nothing that's come through. It's a YouTube issue, not on my behalf. Quite possibly, my darling, but there's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. It's not showing any payment on this channel, my darling, but apologies for that. Right then, so we are going to do another reading, another round. It does feel very much like we are coming towards the end. I think we're going to be looking at 8:45 perhaps for closing this evening. So yeah, absolutely agree with you, Ed. So then let's have a look. So we're going to, and now what am I trying to do? Brain, I'm trying to press this button here. It should put things in the comment section right now. There we go. So that means the round is open. Do please go ahead, pop your question into that there live chat, starting with the word question, and that will come through. And then one of you that put your question in, right? One of you will absolutely get your name picked out of that there hat to get a reading. If you want to guarantee that you get your reading next, then do please go ahead and do like Laura and Boldly Dream did. Go ahead and send it through as a super chat. That will queue jump you. And don't forget, if you and don't forget, if you want a longer reading, then a queue jump. Good Lord, my brain. If you want a longer reading, then a super chat of $8 or above will guarantee you that. That's what I'm trying to say. It's very complicated. My brain is now very, 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 very confused. But no, that one. That's what I'm trying to do. Right then. There we go. The round is open, so do please go ahead, pop your question into the live chat, or starting with the word question, or send it through as a super chat. Either way, one of those two things, and you've got 30 seconds to do it. Hopefully, it'll make more sense when you see it on screen now. Right then, let's have a look. What, Patricia? Excuse me. Thank you very much, but I can't refund bloody super chats. It doesn't let you. Oh, thank you very much. Right, I've got keeper of the questions has said Tonya. Hang on a second. I'm not even on that screen yet. I was on the super chat screen. Tonya, let me take the banner off. Tonya Dickerson. Hello, my darling. Question: do you see a positive outcome with family, my adult kids? Okay, we'll have a look for you, my love. So then, if you are not Tonya Dickerson, go ahead and select and copy your question and get it ready for the next round. I may well do one more round. Depending on how we're feeling, I may well do one more round. But Tonya, I've got dogs barking in the background and everything. Tonya, your reading is coming up straight after this. Okay, so then let's have a wee look. As always, we are going to cleanse the space and bring in the ever lovely Wispy. So then, Tonya, let's have a look. Do we see a positive outcome with your family and adult kids? That is me shuffling. That isn't Wispy. Wispy, if you need it to drop, you do the drop. That was me then. So, Wispy, if you need a card to drop, you know what you need to do. So then let's have a look. Do we see a positive outcome with family and Tonya's adult kids? Let's have a look. So then, oh gosh, don't forget, we'll be live again on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. UK time. Do make sure you have your bell donged and your changes set to the settings set to all, so that YouTube notifies you. So that Utify, yeah. That is YouTube and notification mixed together. Utify. There you go. I know, right? Sounds like it's a blooming like old god from somewhere, doesn't it? Like Mesopotamian days. Utify. We bow down to Yusuf. No, shut up. What if it was? What if it actually was? And I was saying we're bowing down to a Mesopotamian god. Could you imagine? Good lordy, lordy, lordy. Right then, let's have a look. So we do your drop. So then, Tonya, let's have a look. Melinda Brown, my darling. Okay, you will be the last one, my darling. Thank you very much. Right then, let's have a look. So, positive outcome with family. No, not really. Not really, unfortunately, my darling. Right, so let me explain. Where you are now, Six of Wands. Wands is security, sense of self, all of those things, right? All of those things in life that are confidence, everything like that, right? Sixes do show a community element, right? So it could be a family, could be a community, whatever it is. Sixes show a group of people, right? So this is a wider community that surrounds you. When it's reversed here, so we've got a group of people that are, if it was this way up, it would be a group of people that help build you up, right? Help make you feel your best self, help all of those lovely things. It's positive. It lifts you up. Do you know what I mean? All those lovely things in life. However, when it's reversed, it really is saying that at the moment, it feels like the people that are surrounding you and the people that this six represents are possibly dragging you down, possibly not got. It's not so much that they don't have your best interest at heart, but it's almost like having to deal with that energy it's sucking, right? It sucks your energy. It's like a lower vibrational energy. I hate it when tarot readers say that because it sounds like so much bullshit, but it does give that sort of vibe. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm really happy today. I woke up and I've had a really good night's sleep. I've had a really lovely shower. I'm ready for the day ahead. And then, Bob and his wife and his kids are coming around. Oh, God, can I? Okay. All right. Hi, Bob. Yeah, hi. Brenda. Hi. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of vibe. And that doesn't feel positive in any way, shape, or form. Especially because it's followed up. What you need to know, we've got the Six of Swords. 2 sixes back to back, both reversed. Six of Swords. Swords is talking about the swords is talking about challenges, hurdles, and obstacles, right? Challenges, hurdles, and obstacles. This Six of Swords, it's like whatever this family situation is at the moment, it's one thing after the other. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it feels like the energy that's involved, it's just a bit crap energy. Do you know what I mean? Now listen, I've got a sibling, right, that I only ever refer to as a sibling because they don't deserve to be sent anything else, if that makes sense, right? They do not deserve to be called anything else in my life other than a sibling, and as separated as that can possibly be, because I their energy is so toxic to mine, right? I generally see the world positive, they generally see the world negative. And the thing is, I can't be around that energy anymore. So a few years ago, we had to make some really difficult decisions of, if this person is in my life, they will always make me feel like shit. They will always do this. They will always do that. They will always, because that's who they are. It's never going to change. No matter what we say, no matter what they say, it's never going to change. We can get along for a little bit and then they revert to type. And then I end up being drawn back and sucked into that cold, dark, awful, nasty, horrible place. Right? So I just made a decision to, if something doesn't bring you joy in your life, get rid. That person didn't bring me joy. And I was just like, nope, that's my boundary. And it feels like with these two cards back to back, it feels like whatever this 6 is, whatever this community vibe is, this family vibe, look, it's not. Sometimes you just have to put your own boundaries up, particularly because in the outcome card, we've got the King of Cups reversed. Cups is your emotional suit, my darling, right? Kings can represent father figures, husband figures, patriarchal figures, all of that stuff, bosses, authority figures. This way up, it's a positive. It's somebody who is welcoming and growing and all of that really lovely sort of king vibe. You know what I mean? That lovely figure type energy, that loving uncle, that loving grandpa. This way round, it's like they want control, and it feels like they are going to, like, it's that emotional, their emotional way or no way. It's like their way or the highway, but dealing with all of your emotions. So in all honesty, my darling, do I see a positive outcome with these 3 cards as the cards are looking at the moment? No, I don't. I see more of the same, more of this sort of group energy that is reducing and reductive. It's bringing you down. It's lowering your vibrational energy. It's basically making you sad, right? And there will come a time where there may come a time where you have to put a boundary in place and say, look, I'll tell you what, instead of coming to my house, I'll come to yours and I'll come and visit for a couple of hours and then I'll go home. That way you are in control of when you see them, how long for, and all of that. Do you know what I mean? Or it may be that you say, like I had to, do you know what? Look, let's be honest. We don't get on. We haven't got on for years. And although you are my sibling, brother, father, mother, uncle, whatever, right? You are my family member. The door is always going to be there. And now the door is, the door is always going to be open. But for now, I need to just leave it ajar, right? It's always going to be there. I'm never going to lock that door to you. But for right now, let's not pretend that we are friends just because we share a bloodline. Do you know what I mean? And that might be something you have to do. Anyway, I hope that helps, Tonya. I know it's probably not what you want to hear, my darling, but thank you ever so much for your question. And again, thank you ever so much thank you for asking. And I wish you nothing but the very best of help. Sometimes, listen, boundaries is something it took me a long time to learn. It really did. It took me the longest time to learn how to put healthy boundaries in place, and I'm still working on it. But yeah, anyway, right then, let me have a look in their chat. Nina sent a super chat request through. Nina, I've got your super chat. I don't know what's happened, my love, but it feels like it took a long time for that one to come through. So I will have a look at that. I will have a look at that on the system as to why that might have taken so long. So I've got Melinda and then Nina's belated one to do, and then that will probably take us up to 9 o'clock actually. So then, right, let's have a look. You sent a second super chat. Hang on, but no. If I refresh this, no, there's still only one for you, my darling. I've now got from today Laura Boldley, Patricia, Melinda, and yourself. That's what I've got that has been sent through for today on YouTube system. So there isn't anything else, my darling, unfortunately. So you'll have to take that up with YouTube, my darling. It's yeah, that's something for YouTube. For you to request on the YouTubes. Oh, my darling, no problem at all. No problem, Tonya. Listen, it's tough. It's really tough, right? It is really tough. But those boundaries are really important. Whack those boundaries on, and just I wish you nothing but the very best. And quite often expect backlash, right? Expect backlash. I had a sibling tell me to F off repeatedly for years and years and years and years and years. F off out my life, right? But when I did and said, do not listen, we're currently vaguely on speaking terms, but never say that to me again. And then they said it to me, and I said, right, you realize if you say this, I will, and you will not hear from me. F off out my life. I said, right, okay. That's your choice. Goodbye. And I did. And because we were prepared to put those boundaries in place, and we openly said, that is a boundary. If that is what you want, we will do it. And they did. And years later, they have thrown all sorts of insults at me for not being there, for missing this part of their life and that part of their life and the kids' life and all sorts of other bits and pieces. And I'm like, you told me repeatedly to get out your life. You can't now throw like hurt at me for doing what you told me to do. You wanted me out your life. I'm out of it. Deal with it. And sometimes that backlash can be incredibly hard. But anyway, let's have a look. So Melinda, my darling, let me have a look. A general reading for Hope. Okay. Do you mean Hope as in a person named Hope, or do you mean hope as in hope for the future, hope for the world at large, that sort of hope, like capital H, no, small h, rather than capital being a person? I think you probably mean small h. Right, let's have a look at that, my darling. I will do your reading straight after. Where is it? Where's my buttons gone? I've lost my buttons. Straight after this.
We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God!
Aren't I dramatic on that video? Aren't I dramatic? I know, right? I remember that reading so well. I was doing a reading for someone, and I was like, oh, all of this. I'm not quite sure. And then they put in the comment section what it was all relating to, and everything was spot on. And that was like a big like 10 card reading type deal. And everything. And that's when I was like, oh my God, really? I know, right? But also a little bit dramatic. I get it. Right then, Melinda, my darling. Here we go. A reading from Melinda. Wispy. Let's have a look. No more super chats, please. We are out of time for super chats. I've got Melinda's in, and then I've got Nina's well, it didn't bounce, did it? Because Nina put it in again. But that is all that we've got time for on the super chat. So a general reading for Hope from Melinda. Let's have a look at that for you, my darling. go. Oh, almost a card, Wispy, almost a card. If you need a card to flip, you know what you need to do, my friend. Almost a card. Let's have a look. So then, here we go. Do you drop? And a general reading for Hope, Wispy. We want some nice positive cards, please. Positive, positive, positive. So, Melinda, where are you right now? What is going on right now? Oh, King is in his counting house, counting all his money. Have you come into some money, my darling? Are you super, super mega rich? I'm joking. Oh, in fact, am I on? There we go. Hang on. I'm in the doodah screen, the super chat screen, so I can't see comments. So just bear that in mind, everyone. Oh, in fact, hang on, I've got a thing for that, I've got a thing for that. There we go. So then, let's have a look. We have. Oh no, hang on. Oh, what have I done? There we go. Rule of thumb, Lisa. Stop pressing buttons. So then, let's have a look. So, we've got the King of Pentacles in where you are now. In what you need to know, we've got the Three of Pentacles. Okay. That's interesting. And in the, we've got the Fool reversed in the outcomes. So, my darling, let's have a look. The King of Pentacles. Kings can relate to male figures, masculine figures, but they always relate to more authority figures. Okay, so it feels like you do have somebody in your life, an authority figure in your life that is coming through in either work, career, or finances. Okay, so there is somebody here, some connection that's happening that's going to be important around now. So if it's not already in your life, then this energy will be coming in fairly soon. Okay, so it could be, as I say, it could be a boss, could be a partner, whatever it is, it's related to finances, right? It's related to finances, and it's got quite a strong, yeah, I think it is finances. Quite often you'll hear me say, like, it could be growth energy, because of that earth connection, but I don't think it is. I think this is career wise, my darling. I think there is a career boost coming your way. It feels like an authority figure, like a boss. And it feels like it's a really this does feel really positive, because it feels like somebody is coming in and they are offering you something. So it could be a new job, a promotion, something like that. It really does feel that they are bringing in this financial vibe is coming your way. Not to say you're going to win the lottery. You know, you're not going to, there's not going to be mega bucks flying around, but it feels like something that, that there is an offer coming, right? Either, no, I think there's an offer of a job, offer of a promotion, offer of some money, offer of a settlement, offer of something. Somebody somewhere has some cash that they either want you to work for or they want to give you for settling something, right? Don't know what that means. What you need to know, though, the Three of Pentacles, this is the apprenticeship card, right? This is the learning card. This is the there are things you need to learn, there are lessons and all of that, but very much within the workplace. So if this is a job offer, it's like it's a job offer that you're going to need to learn in the job. Does that make sense? And it's like it's something which is going to give you skills and give you it's like this is a stepping stone to other better things, right? And it feels, again, you asked for hope. This feels very hopeful, because the apprenticeship card is normally about, look, we have to learn at the beginning, and as we grow, as we develop, as we learn more, we rank up. I have to be I'm not very good with my R's, so I have to be careful how I say that, but you rank up, you level up. And it feels like this is going in at maybe a bit of an entry level, or going in at something where it may not be, oh, here is $50 billion, right? But here is something where, let me rephrase that. It's like there's a job offer, but the job offer needs you to go in at a learning level first as you then progress. And it's like I had an opportunity when I was 18 to do my nursing, right? And I could have gone into nursing, and the way I could have got my degree was on the job training. And basically I would have gone to I would have worked in a hospital initially as the lowest of the lowest of the low, right? Helping the doing the cleanup, right? Everybody in that hospital would be above me, every single person, including the patients, right? But every single person on that pecking order, I would be at the bottom. So if the cleaner doesn't want to clean up the messy poop, I would clean up the messy poop, right? That was the job. That was literally the job offer. You go in at the lowest of the lowest of the low, but 3 days a week you're in college, 2 days a week you're in hospital. Whilst you're in hospital, like, you will start learning on the job. And yes, most of the first year you'll be doing those really horrible cleaning, getting bags, doing this, doing that type entry level jobs. But after the first year, you'd have passed this bit of your qualification, which means you'll be allowed to go in and do this little bit of nursing. After the second year, you'll do this. And instead of it being a 3-year role, it will be a 5-year role to get my nursing degree. But it would have meant 5 years being paid rather than 3 years paying, right? And I had to this day, I don't regret not doing that, because it would have meant committing to staying in the town I was born in for 5 more years. But it's like sliding doors. One part of me went that way and into nursing via that route, and one part of me moved to Leeds. And this is, hello, I am the one that moved up north. And this feels very similar to that. It feels like the opportunity will come where you can kind of learn and grow within the job that you're doing, so that you don't have to pay mega bucks to qualify. And then in the outcome card, this is actually quite a good reading. You know, you've got the full. Yes, it's reversed, but the full is talking about starting a new journey, right? The Fool's journey, the whole tarot deck is about the Fool's journey. The major arcana cards going from the 0 to the 21, from the Fool to the World. When the Fool is this way up, it's saying, look, you are starting this brand new journey, this brand new thing, this brand new adventure awaits you. When it's reversed, it's like you're going to have to start over, right? And I think that's where this comes in. It's like, you're going to start over. You're going to do this journey. It's going to be a whole long journey. It's going to be a bit of it's not going to be exactly what you want, but you're going to start over, and you're going to start this journey all over again. And you're going to start, though, like with a, you're not starting at square one. It's like you're starting at square 4, because you're going to be starting with this apprenticeship. So rather than not knowing anything, which the Fool often does, you can see the Fool is about to fall off the cliff. It's like oh my god, it's like, is it Groundhog Day, where you repeat the day? Oh no, like Happy Death Day, where you repeat the day but you retain the knowledge. And it's a bit like that. It's like you're going to be starting this new journey. It feels really, really positive, but instead of starting from scratch as a newborn infant with no knowledge, you're actually starting, it might feel like going back to square one, but you're starting with knowledge. Hopefully that helps, my darling. I really, really, really hope it does. But thank you ever so much for your super chat. And yeah, keep your wits out. Keep looking out. This opportunity feels really good, right? This opportunity, is workplace opportunity, feels really good. If it isn't, as I say, if it's not a workplace opportunity now, it could be a settlement for something, but that will come with some strings. Don't know what that means, but I hope it helps, Melinda. Right then, let's have a look in the in the comment section. Reaching blessings, not my shit. No, you haven't worked in over. Oh, have you got a claim in? Because there's something that money's coming your way. Money's coming your way. And this apprenticeship, honestly, what you need to know, it feels like there's things you need to learn to do it, but it feels like something is coming your way. So yes, it does feel good. No idea what it could be this time, but I'll keep your eyes open. Absolutely. Maybe you'll be returning to the workforce soon, but you have experience, but will need to retrain because it's been so long. Listen, look out or contact previous bosses. Anything like that, right? Feels like a very positive thing. Right then, hopefully that helps, Melinda. I really wish you the very, very best of luck, my darling. I really, really, really do. And also, I am loving your hair in that new profile picture. You look absolutely stunning. Right then, let's have a look. Final reading for tonight. Nina, hello, my darling. Right, let's do this for you. Let me do the doodah. Right then, let's have a look. So then, we're going to cleanse the space. There we go, as always. And I'm going to bring in Wispy. Right then, let's have a look. How is he feeling since our fallout? Okay, let's have a look, Nina, my darling. How is he feeling since your fallout? Let's have a look. So then, Wispy, Nina wants to know, how is E feeling since their fallout? Oops. Hopefully it's a fallout as in a disagreement. Hopefully it's not a fallout as if you fell out the car. I'm joking, but you know what I mean? It's like, how is he feeling since our fallout when we fell out the back of a lorry and both tumbled down that hill in like a 70s, what's it called, like Fallout Guy or the A-Team, or when they in every single one of those series in the 80s and 70s and 80s where people would fall out of things and the car would go flipping over the cliff and the people would fall out and they'd roll down and then be absolutely fine, or like the A-Team would go like this and the car would go oh smash and then the people would crawl out. Do you know what I mean? It's like that. Do you know? Hopefully it's not any of that. Right, let me just. So then we'll speak. How is he feeling since the fallout with Nina? Let's have a look. Oh, it's going again. Yep, I could feel it. It's a little bit uncertainty. Right then. So, Queen of Cups. Okay, what we're going to do, we will look at where he is now, what you need to know about E's feelings, and the potential future, and then we'll look at the connecting and the base. Interesting. Right, okay, so where you are right now, Nina, we've got the Queen of Cups. So it feels like there is an element, can I put this? It feels like there's an element where you are in control, right? Where Cups is the emotional suit, but the Queen of Cups, it's like this is the witchy card, right? This is, I always say that this reminds me a little bit of me sat here on my table with my scrying bowl, my runes, my tarot, my crystals, all of the sort of glass crystals in the air. This is very much taking on that sort of, taking on your own power, okay? So the Queen of Cups, the emotional side of the cups, when we're saying where E is, right, I think, how can I put this? I think that you are the larger personality between you and E, and I think E is looking at you as being the one that is in control of the emotional state, right? And that since your fallout, E sees you as being maybe responsible for the fallout, maybe they see you as being the more emotional type, Let's have a look and see what else comes up. What E needs to, or what you need to know about E, we've got the Hanged One reversed. Now, the Hanged One is all about sacrifice. Okay, so in other decks, it's the Hanged Man or the Hanged. It's about sacrifice. This person is choosing to be bound in this way underwater, right? They are choosing this as an option. When it's reversed, it's not so much a choice, and it feels almost like, oh gosh, right? It feels like he is seeing it as if you are sacrificing the relationship, right? You're sacrificing that relationship for maybe for your own needs, maybe for your own ends. I'm not quite sure, but it really does feel like he's like it's all about you. Does that make sense? It feels like whatever happens with this relationship, it's all on you. You are the one that's chosen to kind of to end things, because it wasn't right for you, which is great. If that is you making a positive step and putting boundaries in place and all of that, then that is absolutely great. It's what we need to do in life. But from E's perspective, because you're asking how E is feeling, it's very much, almost like you've made your decision and he isn't involved in that decision making process. The future outcome, we've got the devil. Now, the devil in this case can represent manipulation. It can represent materialism, because the devil is, you can see here, we've got the five-pointed star. I've got it on a coaster here, right? When it's this way up, it's talking about spirit over the four other elements: earth, air, fire, water. So it's putting our spiritual self above our physical self. When it's this way, as in the devil card, it's literally talking about putting our physical needs above our spiritual, right? And that is what this is saying. Now, there is no devil in witchcraft. There is no devil in the tarot, which is why this is not like Satan is coming. Absolutely not. It's talking about the manipulation, the puppet mastering, right? I think that if you were ever wanting to get back with E, I don't think that's going to be necessarily a positive for either of you, because this pulling the strings, this puppet mastery, is not an equal basis, will never be an equal basis if you've got one person being the more dominant and pulling the strings, especially when the sacrifices are being made for yourself and for your reasons, not for E's. So this feels very much like because you're asking the question, how is E feeling? I think E is seeing you as being the sort of manipulator, and maybe that I'm just going to say it, right? It's giving bitch vibes, right? For you, from your perspective, you're putting healthy boundaries in place. You're doing the thing that we talked about with, I talked about my sibling, but healthy boundaries in place, stopping contact, doing all those lovely things. The backlash is real. So E is sensing that backlash. You may have put these boundaries in place because the relationship, the connection isn't working for you. It isn't something that you want to do moving forward, blah, blah, blah. But from E's perspective, it's like, you know what I mean? They're seeing it very differently, which is what you're asking. Now, linking the Queen of Cups to the Hanged One, to this idea of selfish sacrifice, we've got the Seven of Swords. Swords is trouble and strife, hurdles and challenges, and the sevens are really difficult decisions, right? So it's like there is some difficulty between, how can I put this? Right, on the surface, the Queen of Cups is a lovely, warm, caring, loving person. But she's also clearly, the way these cards have come up on the top shelf, the Queen of Cups is clearly also capable of putting in those tough choices, right? This is a tough choice, and this is a tough choice as to Do you move on? Do you stay where you are? You know, either decision that is made in a relationship is going to affect the other. Seven of Swords, it's almost like you're choosing between a rock and a hard place, right? The choice of putting your own boundaries first, I think that's a really healthy choice, but also I think it was a really difficult one because we've got this Seven of Swords, and I don't think E will recognize that as being something that was necessary for your mental health and for your stability. I think for E, I think it's really much, how can I put it? I think it's like, it feels like decisions have to be made, but I don't think you're the one that wants to make them. It's like you've drawn your line in the sand, and what you're willing to accept, and he's reacting to that, and maybe he's choosing the sacrifice. I don't know. I don't know quite how these relate. It almost, see, because the Queen of Cups is normally quite a warm, nurturing card. So it feels like, yeah, it I think this is because we're, hang on. Because we're looking at how is E feeling. I think this is E is trying to make the tough decisions that maybe you don't want to face, maybe, perhaps. It feels like the line is drawn in the sand. Your boundaries are put up, and your boundaries are there for your reasons, and they're perfectly valid, and you are protecting yourself. However, it feels like he is like, right, if that's your way, I can't do your way. I can't do my way or the highway. Well, I'm on the highway, and that's what it feels like. This is coming from me, particularly because we've got the Ten of Swords linking in as well, and so this is moving forward. And it feels like when the Ten of Swords, 10 is overflowing, too many hassles, too many problems, too many issues. And again, this reversal, I don't think I don't know. I don't think this was a planned, whatever this fallout was between the two of you, right? I don't think it's planned. I think it's almost like not spiteful words, but maybe spiteful words, because this Ten of Swords, the Ten of Swords is, and in this case it's reversed, so it's what was done to E, if that makes sense. And it's almost like you said these are the boundaries. E was like, oh well, that makes things really difficult, and then you've kind of gone, okay, then they're difficult, but these are the boundaries I have to put in place. And it's almost like, so it's almost like that was the end. Like, do you know what I mean? It feels very much, this feels very final. And normally with the Ten of Swords, because we've got this bird here, so we've got this soul, this rebirth element, like this is very much like this poor bird here has been stabbed through with all these needles, right? This is very much a final thing for here, but normally there's this little element of hope, but it does feel here, this feels very final. It feels very much like this sacrifice has ended it, particularly because the root here, right? The root, the Ace of Pentacles, this new, potentially this new start, new understanding, new growth together as a couple, new growth together as a friend, however you two are connected. It feels very much like, look, it could have happened. You could have regrown, you could have planted for the future, but now this is reversed. It's like, no, it is done. It is absolutely done. We've got this, whatever the opportunity was, it is now done. This bulb is not being planted. This aces are all about new starts, new beginnings, new ventures. This is not being planted, my love. We've got this at the root, the next level up from that root of things ending. We've got difficult decisions here leading to sacrifice, leading to this finality. And then on this level, we've got this moving forward, we've got the devil. The devil is in the details. The devil is in this idea of putting physical over spiritual. So it's kind of like somebody has decided to put their own needs first, and somebody else then, do you know what I mean? It's like somebody's literally gone, right, okay, my way or the highway. Well, that's fine. I need my own roof over my head, my own food on the table, my own everything else. I need to make sure that I have that basic level of security, and off they've gone. I don't know if that makes sense, Nina, my darling, but that's what it feels like. It feels like E is absolutely done. Absolutely done. It really does. And I hope that means, from your perspective, that you were ready for this ending to happen, because this really does feel like I can't see, with these set of cards and the way you've asked the question, I can't see there's a way back for the relationship to be fully committed ever again. Whether that, and again, this is only for entertainment purposes, you make all your own decisions about your own life, but it really does feel as if that bond has been broken. So whether that is a friendship bond, a family bond, a relationship, whatever that is, that bond has been broken, and now it's about clearing up the pieces, basically. So yeah, I hope that helps, my darling. Moving forward, it almost feels like there now needs to be that time to heal, time to grieve, time to move forward. But certainly it doesn't feel as if there's much hope for whatever that connection was between you and E. Sorry, my darling, I don't know if you were wanting that, or whether you were wanting, there's lots of regret and we're going to get back together and all of those things. But I can only give you the answers that the cards give to me, unfortunately. Right, let me have a look in that there comment section. You weren't falling out the car. How is he feeling since I kicked his ass out of the car at 70 miles an hour? Okay, hang on. You called him out on his behavior. No yelling or cussing, none of that. He left and blocked your phone immediately. Oh, my darling. You were confused. Since then, you've not reached out. You were confused. It blindsided you. He still left other communications open. He broke your trust in your bond. Yeah, I think that's it, my darling. I think that is it entirely. I think it is very much a case of that is it. Do you know what I mean? That is it. What is it they say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I think that is it, my darling. It feels very final in that reading. But anyway, I hope that helps. Thank you ever so much for your question. Thank you for your super chat. Thank you everybody today for your super chats, for your questions, for joining us. We are on the road to 1,500 subscribers, so that is awesome. And yeah, thank you ever so much, everybody. Listen, the mods are the most amazing group of people here. They have been amazing tonight. Thank you very much to Patricia. Thank you to Ed. And thank you to Holland earlier on. I know Holland has their mum in the room, so they weren't able to do a lot of physically modding type thing, but thank you ever so much. But thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here, and once again, thank you for being such a wonderful community. I love being able to have this platform to do the tarot readings that I do, and I am very grateful to everybody that helps me with that. So yes, and I will be back Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. Where does that put us? That puts us at 11 a.m. in San Francisco, 12 p.m. in Denver, 2 p.m. in New York. In South Africa, you're an hour ahead of us, my darling. So you are 8 p.m. India, 11:30 p.m. and Australia, unfortunately, 4 in the morning. I will be back on Tuesday. But that is it from me today. And as I always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.